This is the Barbados Today morning news for Friday, December 6th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Our top story, Dominicans go to the polls today to elect a new government. The choice is between the incumbent Dominica Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and the opposition United Workers' Party, led by Lennox Linton. The DLP is seeking an unprecedented fifth consecutive term in office. The campaign was marred by violence in two communities this week. Protesters in the northeastern community of Marigot and the West Coast constituency of Salisbury, both strongholds of the opposition UWP, blocked roads and burned debris as they continued to press for electoral reform ahead of the polls. As a result of the violence, members of the regional security system have been deployed to Dominica to maintain law and order. Both the DLP and the UWP are contesting all 21 constituencies. The polls open at 7 o'clock and close at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, David Commission, says the violence in Dominica this week is unfortunate. He told Barbados Today this goes against the region's tradition of free and fair elections.
It is very, very unfortunate that we should see this kind of behavior in Dominica, the blocking of roads, the setting fire to debris in roads, and those kinds of activities. That's not our tradition. Our tradition is that the people go to the polls and the people speak, and the people determine through voting at the polls who will govern their country for the next 5 years. And this is what needs to happen in Dominica.
Residents of Draxhall Tenantry, St. George, say they feel they are being cut off from the rest of the island as the only access road through their community, which has been in a state of disrepair for years, has gotten worse. They told Barbados Today that whenever it rains, the road is impassable. This adds to their long list of commuting woes, which includes recurring damage to their vehicles. One resident said they have sent a signed petition to their MP Dwight Sutherland as they now cannot stand the condition of the road any longer. Barbados Today contacted Sutherland, who acknowledged receipt of the petition. He says he has spoken with the Transport Minister, William Duguid, about the plight of his constituents, and he has promised to fix the road within the first half of next year. Former Central Bank Governor Dr. Delisle Worrell says government should develop a practical policy document on alternative energy, which he says will create more certainty for investors. In his December newsletter, he says the recent island-wide power outages further highlighted the need for a practical and fully informed strategy document with realistic guidelines, responsibilities, and monitoring to be of the highest priorities. Worrell says the document should clarify government's targets for renewable energy.
Is it to generate all electricity from renewable sources, or to completely eliminate the use of fossil fuels? Neither of these objectives can now be attained by 2030. The Barbados Light and Power has now ordered a new 33-megawatt generating plant which runs on fossil fuel and which will still be in full operation in 10 years' time. In addition, most of the gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles imported this year will still be on the roads in 2030.
Employers have been put on notice that they could start witnessing a change in attendance patterns once marijuana is legalized for medical purposes. The caution comes from the third Vice President of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados, CTUSAB, Dr. Abdon Da Silva. He says there is still not enough research on the industry, and it will be up to the employers to consult with legal representatives to develop sound policies on marijuana use in the workplace.
Employers must considered the possibility that increases in absenteeism and presenteeism may occur as marijuana-containing products become increasingly available to workers, and that would include if they legalize it for personal recreational use. Employees who appear to be impaired in the workplace should be assessed according to employers' policies, and employers should consult with legal counsel and workers' representatives when developing policies regarding employee use of medical marijuana.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for crop over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. In news from the region, we go to Guyana, where two sisters who were caught on camera verbally and physically abusing police officers have appeared before Magistrate Peter Hugh at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court to answer to 10 charges. We get the details in this report from the newsroom.
22-year-old Yashmini Ramsu, known as Tina, and 30-year-old Mona Singh have also accused the female rank of beating them at the Rose Hall police outpost. Ramsu of number 35 Village is charged with 6 offences, which allege that on December 2nd, she drove motorcar PTT 5628 in a manner dangerous to the public on the Rose Hall public road. She failed to report an accident. She failed to stop at the accident scene. She resisted arrest, behaved disorderly, and assaulted a police officer. The young lady pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Police prosecutor Rudolph Pelaya objected to bail based on the seriousness and prevalence of the offences, but the magistrate granted $30,000 bail for the dangerous driving, $10,000 bail for resisting arrest, $10,000 bail for disorderly behaviour, and released Ramsu on her own recognizance for the other charges. Meanwhile, Singh was charged with damage to property, assaulting peace officer Umkar Suknandan on the Port Morant public road, resisting arrest, and disorderly behaviour. She too pleaded not guilty and was placed on $30,000 bail for the damage to property charge, $10,000 bail for assaulting the cop, $10,000 bail for resisting arrest, and released on her own recognizance for behaving disorderly. The matter was transferred to the Wim and Albion Magistrates Court for January 6th and the 7th, respectively.
On the international scene, about 100 bushfires are raging in the Australian state of New South Wales, with the most severe burning on the outskirts of Sydney. More than 2,000 firefighters are battling huge blazes, which escalated in intensity late on Thursday. Footage of one blaze on the southern fringe of the city showed firefighters fleeing as flames surged forward. Australia's largest city has been blanketed by thick smoke all week, causing a rise in medical problems. Since October, bushfires have killed 6 people and destroyed more than 700 homes across Australia. And that's news this morning, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good morning.